Yeah, man, liars are buyers, but the question is, are you the type of strong sales professional that pushes through the nonsense and the lies, or are you the one who's actually behaving more like a buyer? This is a very important question because I truly believe there is a sale made in every single house. Every time you make a final expense sales presentation, especially if you're selling over the phone. Thing is, if you're not strong enough, if you're not solid while you're making your presentation, or if your presentation is kind of weak and maybe sucks, you may actually be the one who's behaving like a buyer, believing the nonsense just like a tool. In this video, Liars or Buyers, I'm going to share with you some very important tips to help you change what's going on within yourself so that you can increase your sales and help more people. All of this and more coming up next. I'm Doug Massi. Thank you for checking us out. Now, before I get into the video, I'm going to ask that you smush down on the big old thumbs up tab right now. That way YouTube will continue to share our content across the interwebs. And if you haven't subscribed, well, we're putting out new final expense sales content every single week. Check this out. If you'd like to get a copy of the warning page that all of our top producers are using, just hang around all the way till the end of the video. The simple fact is this is an extremely important document to put with every new policy that you deliver or even that you send out in the mail if that's what you're doing. You can even put your photo on it because it's a great way to scare off unwanted advances from other agents that might come snooping around your client and might try to, well, replace the policy that you sold. When I first got into life insurance sales, like most agents, I was pretty weak. I listened to the lies and the nonsense, and in most cases believed what the clients were or the prospects were actually telling me. Yeah, they weren't my clients because they weren't buying from me, since I was the one who was behaving, or I should say, buying the BS and all of their excuses. And don't get me wrong, I knew it was all a smokescreen, but I was just too weak to know how to deal with it. And if this is starting to sound familiar, then you might just learn an extremely valuable lesson today. First off, it all comes down to respect. So if you're giving more respect to your prospects, yeah, you can give too much. And if you're giving them more than you're getting back, more respect than what they're giving to you, you got to change your screwed up attitude. You're doing it wrong. You got to change all that, and you need to be the one that's starting to take control. Think about it. Would you buy something important, something you'll be paying for the rest of your life from someone that you have no respect for whatsoever? I mean, someone who's a total pushover and maybe, well, I would say, no, definitely weak. Now, just think about this. You're the client. You're meeting or speaking with someone who, when they called, sounded firm and strong, emanating a sense of self-respect. Or maybe this final expense agent just came knocking at your door, but they appeared intelligent and they were firm. They wouldn't just leave when you did your little thing that you do to get rid of them. And now you're sitting down with them. They're making this really clear and strong presentation, obviously an important business professional here. You can tell by their mannerisms and their strong fortitude. You can sense this over the phone too, guys, in case you didn't realize that. And when you try to make some excuse up for why you can't buy, they keep going. They don't buy the excuses. They obviously know what they're doing and are in complete control. Therefore, you've got no choice but to respect them. If I didn't just describe you, then you got some problems, dude. The good news is you can change. And let's be clear, I know I had to get pretty pissed off and hang in there, and I had to make a personal decision that I wasn't going to take any more bullshit. That's it. No more nonsense. I was sick of it, and I'd had enough of the nonsense, and just sucked not selling, and it was all because, well, I realized I was weak. Once I decided that enough was enough and that I wasn't going to take any more shit, something inside me started to change. I started to actually behave different, stronger. I wasn't just going to believe their lies. I wasn't going to take their excuses no more. No. Those days were over, and there's no freaking way that I was just going to leave when someone gives me an excuse not to buy, like what I had been doing. No more handing out business cards because I couldn't close the sale. I mean, the only way someone's getting my business card nowadays is because I just sold them a final expense life insurance policy after making the presentation and closed the sale. That's the only way they're getting my card. Seriously, when I make a presentation and they don't buy, I'm not going to leave them my card. Why would I give them my card? If they are persistent on me giving them my business card, I tell them the truth. Unfortunately, Mr. Jones, you've had 65 years to take care of this. And the fact that you're still making excuses and not willing to take care of this very important insurance now, it makes me pause and realize that there's no reason for me to leave you a business card. And that's usually when I turn to them and I say something like, well, tell me, Mr. Jones, do you love your family enough to take care of this now? Or are you just going to leave them stuck having to take care of your financial responsibilities when you're dead? And that's when I either sit back down, do a price drop close, or end up walking out the door without even saying goodbye or even closing the door sometimes if they piss me off enough. I'll get into the car and just move on to the next door knock. There is no way in the world that I'm going to show someone respect at their home who doesn't even have the common decency to take care of their own financial responsibilities. Think about it. Why in the world would you want to treat someone with respect who you know damn well is absolutely going to leave their family hanging with the total and complete burden of having to set up and take care of the burial or cremation, and then for the family to have to come up with the money to pay out of pocket for it too? What kind of asshole does that? Stop letting these people walk all over you. And if you're going to allow them to do this to you, at least stop kissing their ass while they're doing it. Seriously, stop giving them too much respect. Make them earn it. Enough of the nonsense. Get in there. Take control of the situation. Look, you're supposed to be the professional. Stop making excuses and behaving like a buyer. Become a professional final expense agent now. For a copy of the warning page that I use to scare off unwanted advances so the clients aren't easily persuaded to replace the policy, or if you'd like information on joining our final expense sales team, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. Remember, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will fall right into place. Now, get out there. Do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.